Hey, it's the Brian Kinder Show. We're here talking about real estate in the small market.
It's a Brian Kinder Chris show.
It is the Brian Kinder Chris Show.
It could be the Brian and Chris show.
It could be the Chris.
Kinder and, I can't even say it anymore. Like it's done.
Brian, Kinder, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris Castor, welcome to the show.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
So I wasn't sure. Like you and I haven't got to spend a lot of time talking.
Not
and
really,
I kind of
no.
thought, oh, heck, I don't know if I can do it. And then this morning, like whenever I was getting ready, I was like, I got this. I
in
got
trouble
this.
now.
Let's go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you
I'm
ready to be in the hot seat?
I guess so.
Like
Ready as I'll ever be.
usually, literally, our customers that come in or our friends that want to join
Anxious
us on the show, they're all anxious and they're like, "No, we can't do it, can't do it." And I'm like, "We don't make people uncomfortable. Like we really help people to be comfortable, but not you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna be fine."
I'm used to being in embarrassing situations and having to be in front of people. So yeah, it's all good.
It's gonna be great.
It's all good.
Okay, so but for real, first and foremost, I'm super excited that you're here because we're filming this, and this is airing on 8/17. That's like exactly a week, I think, or a week and a day before you do Thunderbird Drone Festival.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't really know what Thunderbird Drone Festival is because it's really outside of my like. Yeah, my daughter helped a couple years ago, and she's like, "Mom, that was so cool!" And your little hats, these hats.
Yep.
I mean, this logo is like super. Did you make that?
Thank you. I did. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. This is really
Thank you.
cool. And the
That's great.
T-shirts a couple years ago, I was like, "This is also cool," and I don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
What is it?
Yeah, so it's a really unique festival. So in 2017, I shot a short film with my son called Cardboard Cadet. Got my
This is
first
the-
drone. Yeah, yep.
So cool.
He's flying around Woodward in a little cardboard plane in his imagination. And we just made it for fun, but it ended up being something that was, kind of widely accepted on social media. And then we started getting into drone festivals, drone film festivals.
Really?
Which I didn't know was a thing. I knew there was film festivals, obviously, because of the work I do, but drone film festivals, such a niche thing. I was like, I don't know what this is. So we entered, and we basically within, a couple years, 3 years there, we were in 12 to 15 drone film festivals
my
and other
gosh.
film festivals around the world. We went to LA, New York City, Frankfurt, Germany. Nathan and I went to that, and it was really, really cool. So long story short, the city of Woodward is like, hey, can we do a drone festival here? And so we start talking through that. Got put on hold because of COVID for a while.
Right.
But we started our first one in 2021, Thunderbird Drone Festival, and we kind of made it more than just a film festival. So we included all aspects of drones. So basically what we have is it's a 2-day festival. We have kind of 3 or 4 parts to it. Basically Friday night is the drone film and photo awards show where we show top drone films and photos from around the world. Last year we had upwards of over 200 submissions from 30 countries, or down a little bit this year, but still have a really great show planned. And that'll be Friday night. We're going to be at the Woodward Conference Center. And then we're going to do a drone light show right after that also, which is super cool.
That is
So,
for people
yeah.
like me.
Exactly, yeah. And the really cool thing about this festival is
That's
it
on the
really
25th.
is 25th, August
thank you.
25th, yeah. August 25th and 26th. The really cool thing about this festival is it really is for everybody. Most people, like I said earlier, drones are such a niche thing. It's like people see this and they're like, well, drones, like, is that for me?
Right.
But it really is. It's a celebration of the technology and technology in general. And even we're getting into some aeronautics and stuff like that, which is really cool, which I can talk about, which is on Saturday. But yeah, drone light show right after the film festival, which is
be
awesome. 50 drones are going to go up and do a choreographed show in the air.
That's
That'd be
cool.
really, really cool. Kind of be out there in front of the conference center by Spearmint Lake and all that. So that'll be really cool. And then Saturday is what we call Drone Day, and that's our drone technology. We'll do breakout sessions, question and answer time with drone experts. We have a keynote speaker from OSU, our first female keynote speaker, which will be really
yay.
cool. And she's really intelligent. We were talking on the phone with her the other day, and I'm like, oh man, some of these people are just so smart with this stuff. I touch the creative side of it, but some people, actually have the job of making these things go, which is pretty crazy. So that'll be Saturday. We're going to do our drone races Saturday. So these are our drone race shirts here.
Sky High Shootout.
And it's FPV drone races. So the pilots wear these goggles where they are they're flying the drones at high speeds through these little obstacle courses.
It's
And we
so
pipe
cool.
in all the feeds
So cool.
of the drones to a big screen so the audience can see what the pilots are saying, which is really
it's
cool.
so crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are they even
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
amazing. And the drones are flown manually, so there's no, they're not
They won't
receiving
hover.
any assistance. Yeah. If they let go,
I
it
can
falls.
let go of mine and it just hovers there.
Yeah, exactly.
look.
Mine too. Mine
Run
too.
it into a tree, it won't let me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Lots of protection there. Yeah. So doing that. This is our first year for drone soccer, which is going to be really
Oh,
cool.
fun.
Yeah, and this is
Oh,
new
that's
for
gonna be
me.
so cool.
But it's going to be a blast. But basically, it's a giant court. The college court is about the size of a volleyball court.
Okay.
And there's 5 drones on each team, and they're encapsulated in like a sphere cage. And so
Okay.
they'll just hover there, like a ball. And then there's a scorer on each team, and their goal is they're trying to get it through the opposite team's. There's a little ring suspended, and everybody else is just blocking. So it's just these drones flying all over the
gosh.
place, crashing into each other, crashing into the ground.
That sounds great.
It's gonna be so much fun, and they're gonna bring that in. They're gonna have some teams from OSU like demoing
Oh,
it,
neat.
but then they're also gonna, as far as I understand, let audience members try it as well. Like, so
Oh.
if anybody wants to try it,
Oh,
so this is gonna be super super cool. Lots of fun. It's all line of sight flown, and so it means you stand at each opposite end of the field. And you just watch your drone, like you're not seeing through the eyes of the drone. You just have to control it,
Really?
which is a really great skill set, like to learn,
That's
like
awesome.
when you're a drone pilot. So, yeah, it's all of that stuff. We'll have our drone simulators out there. We'll have a netted area where people can just fly and crash little toy drones. We'll have what else? FAA will be there. They're going to have a flight simulator, like not drone,
cool.
but an actual airplane flight simulator, which is
that's
really
awesome.
cool. U.S. Air Force is going to be there. They're going to have one as well. NASA will be there. They're going to be doing some STEM activities for the kids. And
Oh, I love that.
Nathan's trying to show me something. I can't read that far away.
Panel discussion.
Panel discussions. Thank you. Panel discussions. Yeah. So
Lunch on Saturday.
that's great. Yeah. Lots. There's so many things to remember about the festival.
Well, I'm sure all of this is held in one place. So where do I go to order?
Yeah,
Where do
yeah.
I go to see the schedule?
Yeah, thunderbirdDroneFestival.com. You can see the schedule, and we're updating that as we get more information.
Awesome.
And you can get your tickets there. They are $35, I believe, for a pass for both days, and then $50 for a VIP ticket. On Friday night, we have a VIP after party, which is
Awesome.
really fun.
Yes.
And then you can buy individual day tickets at the door, which are $20. So you
Okay.
save some money if you buy
Sure.
all together.
But if you decide last minute, you can still
Sure.
go play.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right. So awesome. Thank you for telling us all that. I do.
One
Oh,
more thing.
Yeah.
Walker Mercantile.
Yes, yeah. We're working out details with Walker Mercantile where you'll be able to purchase tickets there. So
Ooh, handy.
if you're not computer savvy and you want to just walk in there
Yes.
and ask somebody to help you do that, they're
maybe
gonna
you
be
just
able
want
to
some
do that.
chocolate.
Yeah,
and you want to go in and get a ticket.
Cowboy boots
with
and
your
chocolate.
You need some cowboy boots, chocolate, coffee, and
Oh,
a
you said
Thunderbird
Walker
drone.
and Weston. I was thinking Mercantile.
Well, it's both.
It's all
yeah,
together
it's all
right
together,
there. Oh yeah,
everything,
that's right. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Because not Scissor Tails. Gosh, dang it, I did it backwards.
Buffalo stomping.
Scissor Tails is where I
Stomping.
get my little yogurt parfait thing. That's not what it is. It's a banana split with yogurt. It's
Stomping
amazing.
Grounds.
But Stomping Grounds has coffee
Yes,
in the
yeah.
back of Mercantile too. Okay,
do,
well now that
so.
I've really done a fabulous job of saying it all wrong, now it's time to put you in the hot seat.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So we actually had you on because we wanted to talk about Thunderbird drone, but this is small market real estate is what we do and what we love and what we promote. One of the things that I think is super stinking, this is where I'm going to make you really uncomfortable, and
Okay,
I'm
that's fine.
kind of sorry, but not really. I don't think people understand, like, the Castor family is kind of like this renowned name in Woodward, like, oh, they're one of the Castors. Oh,
Yeah,
Nathan,
yeah.
he married a Castor.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of the thing, and it's funny, and I love it. Like, it's just fun. But one of the coolest things about the Castor family is that you guys have done some really cool things, and then you come back home.
Sure.
Like, welcome home. I love Woodward, and I love when people with talents like you, and like you didn't just go to the festivals, you're an international award drone cinemator. Did I say it right?
Cinematographer.
Cinematographer.
Cinemator. I do also do animation.
I like to make up my own words.
animation and cinematography. So if
Yes.
you combine those, it's a cinemator.
Yeah,
So that works, I
great.
guess.
That's
We'll
great.
just, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
embarrassed.
that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you've helped with major motion pictures. You went viral and got to be on the news because of Beard Like Harden.
Yes,
And I hope
yeah.
that just put that in a million people's heads. If you want to go ahead and sing a
You want
line
to hear
real quick.
a
Yeah,
funny
just
story about
yeah.
that? So I was on set a couple weeks ago with skit guys who I work for full time.
Right.
And this young guy, it's his second time on set with us. We hire a lot of, Oklahoma City film crew, and he's
Yes.
like a new guy coming into that. And a really nice guy. He came up to me. He's like, Chris. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you never told me. You're the Beard Like Harden guy, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, my brother and I, when we were little kids, we used to watch that and sing to it. And I was like dying laughing because I was just like, like, it's so funny. Like a guy that's now coming into adulthood, going into work,
Yes.
sang that song with his little brothers.
But you didn't just keep it with Harden. Like, you also did that incredible painting of Kevin Durant that hung in his home. I don't know if it's still there, but and I've actually never been in Kevin's home.
Yeah, me either.
But I do like to call him by first name basis. So, I mean, you've done all these really cool, amazing things that most of us, I wouldn't even dream about. Like, I mean, I don't even know how to say cinematographer. So, like, super stinking cool. But you found a way to do that from Woodward, Oklahoma. And I stinking love that. So welcome home. Like,
Thank
I know
you.
you've been
Thank
here forever, like whatever, but I just think that that's the coolest thing. In doing so, you have found some challenges whenever you buy and sell homes.
Sure.
And you've done a few. Like, you're quite a bit younger than me, I think, but you've had quite a few different home purchases, sales, and you've done some really cool things. Like, I have my favorite one in my mind, and Brian knows more about your buying and selling history than I do.
He does.
But I mean, like, you bought one of my favorite homes in Woodward, and you made it, and it was already pretty, Texas. You made what was already really pretty, and you just amped it up.
Well, thank you.
And I was like, hot dang. And I think there's a really special element when people grow up in a small town, and we often say, we're never coming back. Did you say that?
No, I actually.
You were like,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that I ever plan to be away from here for forever after college.
Awesome.
So yeah.
I love when people can see the value, but also are able to think outside the box and go, I can still do all these really cool things from here. And I think that that's in real estate, being able to see the value of your community is as much a part of homeownership, I think, as is cleaning the toilets. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's vital to homeownership to be able to recognize the value of our community. And so I'm like, that's why I'm excited you're here. You know the value of Woodward, and you know the value of this community, and you know that community makes your home valuable.
Absolutely.
Like, it just
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
right?
It does.
Yes. Aren't you glad I woke up this Thursday
I'm
morning
so glad.
and had the coffee?
The coffee,
Hot dang.
It's the 5 hours you spend in the kitchen mastering your famous recipe or spending quality time with your family. Other insurance companies may just see it as a house. It's not just a house, it's your home. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Kevin Kanzler, and I see your home as the time and memories you put into them. I understand what your things really mean to you, and I'm here to help give them the protection they deserve. My office is located on the corner of 13th and Oklahoma and Woodward, or call me at 580-256-2216 for your home insurance today.
On Point Land Survey can take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial survey needs. This family-owned and operated business proudly serves Northwest Oklahoma. These lifelong Northwest Oklahoma residents with over 22 years of experience are ready to serve you with the latest equipment and capable trucks to get your job done. Call On Point Land Survey today at 580-256-6757 or stop by 1918 Main Street in Woodward, Oklahoma, or visit their website at onpointlandsurveyok.com. Professional, trusted, local.
I haven't had the coffee yet. I've been sucking down this other cold caffeine.
How many homes have you owned?
Yeah. So in Woodward, we've owned three. We owned one in Mustang before we moved back to Woodward.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking. I couldn't remember if you'd owned that
Yeah.
one or renting it, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have moved, and you've never owned two of those at the same time.
No.
You always sold and bought at the same time, which was
Yes.
what our last show was about.
That's our next show.
Yeah.
Next show.
That's our next show.
Yes.
And yeah. So number one, how stressful is that every time?
Yeah, it's always stressful. I mean, every time we move, I always say, I don't want to move for a long time. But it's kind of my running joke with my wife that she gets antsy every 3 to 4 years,
Yep,
and
yep.
we got to find a new
We
house.
appreciate it.
Yes, yeah. Thank you, Callie, for the business. Yeah. So, no, but
Callie, she's a great girl.
she is.
Send her some flowers.
That's right. So, but yeah, so we've owned 3 houses, and it is stressful. Like, because, when you move, typically, especially like in our case, we haven't, moved and found like the perfect house that's just ready to walk into
Right.
every time. And so, we have a specific style we like that kind of probably leans differently than most people in Woodward.
Yes.
And so, we move in and we see, okay, we've spent money, we've moved in, packed up all our stuff and moved from one place to the next, but there's always things to do, and that's with every house, but there's,
Right.
you go in and you're like, okay, now where do we start,
So let's talk about, that's one of the things that's on our little notes. Nathan helped us with notes for this one because he does know you best. Nathan,
Sure.
Nathan that's behind the scene, and sometimes I let him come on and wave at the camera. Nathan is your brother-in-law.
Yes. Yep.
And so he said, here are things that I see with Chris and Callie and the way that they've bought and sold homes. Callie, she didn't volunteer to come on, did she?
She didn't.
It just occurred to me, this is not her game, is it?
She does not like being in front of the camera, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
But so one of the things that he said is that you have this ability to take your vision and make it into reality. And I'm sure that part of that, here's the thing. I think a lot of our listeners are like, yeah, because he's a Castor. Yeah, because he's Chris. Yeah, because he's a
Creative.
international award-winning drone cinematographer.
Cinemator.
It's so great. Is that going to be like a new?
That's the new word I'm gonna remember. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just remember me.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, all that to say, here's the thing. Like, you've done some really cool things. That's actually not just because of all of your art and your incredible gifts and talents. Everyone can do this. So
Sure.
tell us how. How do we take the vision of, this is a really cool older home. How do I make it even cooler? How do I make it what I
Yeah,
want?
yeah.
So tell us, like, what's your process? How do you do this?
Yeah, so one, I would say, like, first, Callie, she does, like, for her not wanting to be in front of the camera, she's very creative and she has, like, a really specific vision for things like this. So
Right.
she's always, like, even when we're not buying homes, she's looking at homes, she's looking at, inspiration
Right.
for what she likes and what's coming up in the, and design wise and all of that. Which is really cool because like, as a person who does a lot of like design and creative work, I don't really do that much.
Right.
So a lot of like what a house ends up looking like after we're in it is because of her. So that's the first thing. And I think that's inspiration, which is something big in the work that I do, is like, we're always
Definitely.
watching what other people are doing, trying to emulate that or change it and make it more of what we want. And that translates to houses as well. As like, if you can't,
Right.
you can't know what you want without seeing something that's being done and being able to,
Something
to
spurs
adapt
it
that.
on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. And then I would say second, like it, money is always an obstacle, like,
Yeah.
like it for a majority of people, like,
Right.
money realistically is always like, you can't just go in and gut everything and have it exactly the way you want it,
And I think I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of buyers kind of view that the next step, like the people that are in that price range just above me, they could just do whatever they wanted to, and that's not true.
It's not true. Yeah.
And even the ones that are in the higher price ranges, they still view it in a respect. This is a financial investment, and we don't just go in and spend a whole heck ton of money
Yeah.
to this huge investment we just made, even if we want to. We had some buyers recently, and man, I was so encouraged and challenged by their thinking processes of, this is an investment, and although we may not be here forever, so we have to be smart with our money, and we have to buy at this price point and able to do this to make it what we want, yada yada yada.
Yep.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times we really kind of put that in a box. Well, I can't spend that money, but you can. That's not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not true.
Well, and then you go into, even if you can spend that money, like,
You may not should.
Yeah, is it a return on your investment? So that's what, when we look at, when we're in a house, we say, okay, we could do maybe this thing, but is that good for the property? Like, with our moving every 3 to 4 years, are we going to make that money back? Sometimes we say, yes, it's worth it. For us to enjoy being here and to enjoy this thing, but in the long run, maybe this other bigger thing is not worth.
Right.
Like at each property we've been at, we've kicked around the idea of building a big garage with an office, since I work for
Yes.
home. But in most cases, that has not been the decision we've made because of the expense it takes to create that, and then the return that we would get on
I know
that.
the perfect house for them. You do too, but I don't know if we can get those people to move.
We'll talk after. I gotta know more about this. Yeah.
Challenge
Yeah.
accepted.
But that's such a real thing. Just
Yeah.
because you know it's perfect for you and you know that it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for the next guy.
Yep.
And you have to be smart in what you do.
Yep.
And I think there's some value in knowing that you're 3 to 4 year at a home
Yeah.
right now. We don't all have that inside. Like I literally every time I buy a house, I think I'm never moving. And right now, I haven't quite made my new home yet. Like I'm working on it still and I'll get there. But I know we're not moving. Like,
Yeah.
which is funny because, and Brian every day is like, look at this house. It would be perfect for you guys. And I'm like, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
Like, I'll move you all day long.
Yeah.
Challenge. And I hear challenge accepted.
Yeah.
He does. But most people, I mean, I said that with my little tiny house too. And sure enough, what's it been?
See,
4
I made
years?
her
Boom,
move.
I moved.
I didn't make her move.
I don't think you had anything to do
I
with
didn't.
that. But anyway, I think there's value in recognizing, even when we say this is our forever home, it might not be.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't make the crazy drastic moves.
Sure. Yeah.
You can still actually build the garage with the office. You might just not get it back.
Exactly.
So you just have to weigh your risks.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And you guys have done a great job with that.
Thank you.
I think so. I mean, like,
Yeah.
one of the things that I love is whenever we go and look at your homes, because I showed your home on Texas. Man, I love that one.
Yep.
I don't think I got to show you were on Spruce or Second or
So
over.
yeah, we're on third. Callie worked for another realtor at the time.
Yes, she did. Great
yeah,
agent, yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I don't remember that one as well, but I think you still had.
We did stuff
I'm
for
sure
that
it
one
was
as
the
well.
exact same
Yeah.
in the respect of what I'm going for. I haven't even said what I want to say yet. In your current home now, what I see about the way that you guys do things is you might add a little flair in the kitchen. You might add a little flair here. You do beautiful updates, but the updates, once you move out, the updates are almost always something that most people can move right in and feel at home.
Yep.
Like you do such a great job of, like, I have on my mind's picture in your Texas house, second floor. I think it's a picture of your dad, and he's like,
Oh yeah, he's laughing.
like I
Yeah,
literally thought it was Daniel, your brother, at first, and then I went, oh my gosh, that's Daddy Castor. Like, you do such a fantastic job of putting your personalities and putting your styles into your pieces, into your furniture pieces, into your art that you put on your walls, into all those kinds of things. Do you want to talk a little bit about how we do that?
Yeah. So a conversation we always have when we're talking through, like, let's say we did flooring in our most recent house, all through the house. So we talk about like what we like versus also what people will like when and if we sell it at some point. And so that's helpful to think through
Right.
that, because I've been in some houses where I look at them and I'm like, why did they choose this? It's nice quality and everything,
Right.
but realistically, I want to move in and take it out,
Right.
And so like having a balance of like what you like versus what you think other people will enjoy
Yes.
also is, I just think, wise. But then I think just like
But it's
that,
also your home.
and the flair, like you mentioned, like we kind of have I don't even know what you would call it because I don't know the terms, but like it's kind of I would guess maybe kind of a little bit of a retro modern kind of flair. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you make. I don't know.
I don't know anything about that, but Callie could probably tell you it's bohemian, whatever. I don't know what it is, but
I'll be honest, Chris. I ask my friends what I am too.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I like how it looks. It looks good. I'm happy. Yeah, great. But yeah, I think like finding that style that you like, but then within reason of like
Right.
of like what's gonna because trends change so much and so quickly.
They do.
Like we don't like the brown paint on the walls. We like grays or whites
Right.
or whatever. And but like finding that that midpoint to say this might change.
And I'm really glad you said that. Whenever, not a couple of houses ago, whenever we were shopping, my ex-husband, he had something in his mind, and I said, I see that every single day, and I don't want to come home and see it. And I'm really glad we were able to have that conversation, because that really sparked him with a completely different vision, which ended up, super stinking cool that somebody else got to enjoy, but it's fine. What he did to that house was incredible. And it all stemmed from, but that's already what's out there. And sure enough, that began to phase out. and the things that he had the vision to add in when he was ready to sell that house, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. And it fit that current market. So I think that there's some real value in being able to go, this is what everything is today, but how long is it going to be that way? Trends are trends.
Yeah.
Trends are trends. So we have to be really careful to have kind of a neutral palette and add our fun, trendy things as the stuff we can throw away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't really throw it away.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and,
Take it to somewhere.
and
that
like
can use
back
it.
to the kind of the money thing of it too. I think like being able to look at your house and say, okay, what can we use here that maybe like,
Right.
we don't love, but what, like for instance, the house we're in now. So my grandpa's a great carpenter.
Yes.
So we did not like the doors on all the cabinets in the kitchens, and they're custom cabinets that go all the way to the top of
Right.
the ceiling and all of that. So it wasn't something we could just take out, and redo. We had to kind of figure out like what's the best way economically to make this work. And so we just took all the doors off and painted them, and
And it looks fantastic.
Looks great.
Did them, yeah.
And it
So,
does help whenever you have contacts like that
Absolutely.
can just jump in and help.
absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
But that's also the part of small town real estate, small market real estate, is that a lot of times Brian can help to come up with that.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
again, we don't want our customers to feel like they're in a box because they are not Chris. We can be like Chris.
Yeah.
If you can beard like Harden, you
You
can
can
art
be
like Chris.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can cement our, I can't remember the made up word.
It's a
Cinemator.
You could be a,
You can be a cinemator too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, great.
All right. So, is there like, I don't know, this is totally putting you on the spot. And if you don't come up with something, I'll just make up something for you. But
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Is there something that like, what is your biggest lesson that you've learned with buying, selling?
Relationships. So good relationships, guys like
Yes.
you, guys and ladies like you, and then like when you're fixing things up, like in your house too, relationships. It's like right now you can't find anybody to do work, but if you
Right.
know people that
Right.
do those things, then or if you know someone who knows people, just the relationships are big in every part of life. But
Are you going to pay him later?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
That
might
was
help
not
him
what
find
I
another house.
expected,
Slip
and
me
you're
some money.
right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. Thank you, because I think
Yeah.
that is the biggest thing. And we said that on another show a week or two back. Like, we don't want our real estate transaction with you or any of our customers to end at the closing table.
Yep.
We want that to continue. We want to be the one that you call whenever you need somebody for your air conditioner, or whenever you need a plumber, whenever you need
Yep.
a contractor. We want to be the ones to help you find that. So yes, thank you for saying that, because that really, I wasn't even trying to lead you there. But I love that. I'm glad I didn't have
It's
to make
true.
anything
It's
up.
true.
I would have made it up that good. All right, so real quick, the last thing on my list, I want to just remind you, August 25, 26 is Thunderbird Drone Festival, and you can go online, thunderbirdDroneFestival.com. You might check in at the Mercantile, at Walker Mercantile, shop a little bit, and then find out if the tickets are there yet, because if they're not, they probably will be soon.
Yep.
So I think, lots of exciting things.
Yeah.
So again, thanks for joining us and letting us harass you. Oh, yeah, these great hats. That is,
Yeah.
I really do
We
like
got
that
some
logo.
cool merch, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
yeah, check out the festival.
Yes, definitely. So anything else? I think we're just
good.
about at the end.
Nope. Appreciate you guys listening, and go see the drone festival. Check that out, and then call us. We'll go sell you a house.
Absolutely. I am Kendra Brown, 580-216-0090.
Brian Cook, 580-334-2303.
See you next time.